Just to correct you that we've not been making noise. We've been making issues, and it is not like making a mole out of a hill out of a molehill. No, the issue is the reality on ground, and you can't wait because time is moving very, very fast, very, very fast. CAP will be meeting very soon and strategize and come out. Maybe I will suggest during CUPP meeting that Nigerians have to come out. The issue is not about PDP. The issue is about free, fair, credible, transparent, and level playing ground. Would somebody, what do you call it, whatever, there is no level playing ground for other aspirants. I'm coming. And in the first place, it was wrong for INEC to make such an appointment because it has been a tradition of INEC. When I was the national secretary of the CPC and when I was one of the key figures of the AMPP, we attended meetings with INEC. And whenever such sensitive issues are about to be unfolded to the Nigerian public, INEC consults the political parties, put it before the political parties, and they have a consensus. In this case, because they are running to rig the election. This is why the president has deliberately refused to sign the Electoral Act, because he knows that Nigerians are not with him, Nigerians will not vote for him, therefore, he doesn't want the use of technology to make sure that the elections are credible.
The country go change. We need to change our leaders. We don't have leaders, we only have dealers. People, when they sell the things for this country, that is what we have. People, when they sell everything. The reason why they sell the country is small picking for where they do. We need a leader when the country for the first time go senior, so that they go fear to sell. Go to America. America hold past Obama. Obama is a small boy. Go to England, the Queen. The country is senior. How can we have a president when it's senior country? It not work. It not work. And the chat said, no, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. The youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Yes, only the youth have to take responsibility upon themselves so that they can able to know that truly they have the voting power to come out anybody. That is the truth. Not be anybody go do one for you. Now just the youth. Then we just day here, all our strength, not to gossip. As you just sit down, my own. Waiting youth go just sit down. Don't just call you. This is a better thing. Don't just call you. This is a better thing. Don't just call. I'll copy. Hello. I go there. Ben office. Will they argue something? The bunch and Don Jazzy. Who get money pass? I be the accountant. Whenever they talk of suffer, I they ask myself one question when they report they talk. Say, woman, they even suffer with man.
Presidential candidate of the Africa Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore. Good morning and thanks for...
Before, some of them that you see who are in power today, they somehow credit Saharareporters for opening the space for them to come to office. You know, even when it's convenient, they also accuse us of doing things that are wrong. But that shows to you that they know that when it comes to consistency, there are things to be done. You know, there are a lot of low-hanging fruits out there. You know, if you're a leader who can follow the money, which is what I've done at Saharareporters, I follow the money everywhere, including to their bedrooms, bank accounts, follow it to Dubai, UK. I follow oil companies, I know what they're doing, how all these things are done the wrong way. And you have a leader who has the will, who has understanding, who has got the exposure and capacity and intellect. It's easy to do so many of these things, you know. It's not exactly rocket science to get people to come and fix solar panels or create solar farms. Because
the performance of Atiku and other and some of those as vice president, what has been spectacular about it? Nothing to the best of my knowledge. There is a consensus in this country today that the biggest problem that we have as a nation is that of corruption. And the only person who has espoused good ideas, who has been the forefront against the crusade against corruption, who has what it takes to really be able to fight corruption dispassionately, no matter whose source is God, that person is Sowore. So I will, without hesitation, vote for Sowore between Atiku and then Buhari. And I will want to recommend and enjoin all youths of this country, all the women of this country, all those who want a better society, to go for younger generations to vote for somebody like Sowore.
Thank you so much. What's the issue about 2019? I didn't vote the first time because I was in Benin. The results, I must tell you the truth, they surprised me because I wasn't expecting a Jonathan to leave that seat as quiet and as, well, in my own estimation, as capable as he was. Because I won't put the Buhari and Jonathan together on the same seat. They are not of the same class. That's the truth, point blank. So if you go about asking people about 2019, people are angry and they are hungry. 80% of the youth now are criminals of dimensions. People are going to school, going to university, and what they want to do is to escort the Igbo man in the uniform of their cousin to go and bring in tire. Use dirty smelling carbonated substance that you find everywhere. Now you go about town, security now is tire at the middle of the road. What's that madness? Why are you wearing your uniform for? Why are you holding my gun? I should be able to walk past that road and see the security man in silver holding his pistol and know, yeah, that's security. Not hiding at the corner because you are scared. And you can't face the reality of the issues of life. And I'm talking about 20. I pray for a chaos. And that's the truth. I'm praying for trouble within waters. That means people are going to be hitting their heads within their different parties. You talk about Buhari, forget it.
Be president now.
No.
Why did we have to wait?
Till 2020.
Buhari is doing 419. Atiku is doing 419. Atiku is promising Igbo president in 2023. Buhari is promising Igbo president in 2020. Yoruba president is all 419. Let's vote for a Nigerian who understands the problems of this country. Let's vote for a Nigerian who is not going to divide us any further. Let's vote for a Nigerian who has capacity, not the Nigerian that is sick. In fact, what I tell people in the southeast is that you should stop voting for people who fought the war, because they have in their head they are still fighting the Biafran anti-Biafra war till today. This is the reason why we decided to come out here and talk to our people, so that people are not confused about this 5,000 naira that they give on election day. It's not going to take us anywhere. We are promising straight up. How are you? We are promising 100,000 minimum wage for workers, federal workers, state workers. So because it's the federal government, when we increase the allocation, it will go to the states.
Yes.
We are promising study funds and allowance for students who are going to school. We are promising free education from kindergarten to university, because Nigeria can afford it. But the problem with Nigeria is Nigeria has always got the priority wrong. That is why we don't have a government in this country. You understand? So it's a pleasure meeting you. You have met the president today. The president, you have met the future today. And that is, we are taking this message across the country. Even we went to Buhari's hometown last week, Daura. The people there are tired of Buhari, talk less of people outside of his hometown. You understand?
Complex situations and solve them. I would lead the military.
We're almost out of time now, but then the electoral umpire, you spoke boldly against the appointment of Amina Zakari. That was before the president, and the presidency, INEC and herself denied any relationship with the president. Hearing that, do you still maintain your position?
Oh, it's a shame they're lying. It's a shame they're lying. They know that the president's sister was married to Amina Zakari's father. So there is definitely a strong relationship. I am not part of the party that talked about blood relations and relationship. I know there is no blood relationship, but I know that there is such proximate relationship, and that relationship used to be thrown around until it became a problem. I just do not think that this society should continue to play games with the issues of integrity.
But does it hold water that
does.
INEC has said that she will not be directly involved in
She
the
shouldn't
election?
be at all involved in any task that concerns the conduct of the 2019 elections. She's an interested party to the extent that, because, I mean, in the global definition of conflict of interest violation, I was one of those in Transparency International, of which I am a co-founder, that defined the framework on conflict of interest. So there is a conflict of interest violation.
Does this affect your confidence in INEC? Are you confident?
It actually does. It actually does. And what I believe that should happen is that if we want the highest level of electoral integrity, Amina Zachary, who is a professional in her own right, she should continue to be a commissioner, but don't put her in the conduct of 2019 election.
Atiku Abubakar, this now one matter when I want you drop now, make you understand yourself now. Yes. This new year will come so with a verse. Yes. For everything where you get for this life, you know understand. Atiku see, you know they suffer. You know understand. The thing where you get for your system normally, you're supposed to feed half of Nigeria. Yes. But now you the boss at now call they tell us now say now you of all people normally for the level where you are see you will be below. You know understand? You say now you well, now you want to be president of you know understand? Now you want to be president. See, Atiku Moyo tell you the truth here. You not get money again. You know understand? You just want to intimidate us now. Say everything day with you. You know understand? What do you want to go do for presidency? Atiku lock up. You know understand? The voltage where you get normally and now to your bring one small. You know you see all the show all the fella draw to you. Normally you will tell you where you see. Just take this block and where you go contest normally. Because they talk saying that you want to be president for Nigeria. Atiku say your father. You know understand? Atiku see your father. See.
rarraba su ne in ka haɗa su a cikin gida za ka ga inda suke nan.
Center, exactly. Where in transit people begin bringing in extra ballots. So if two things are done, one, ensure the sanctity of the number of voters by making sure that all of the processes, card readers and things like that, are utilized. There should be no excuses. There should be no stories about why the things that worked in 2015 should suddenly not be utilized now. Secondly, if votes are counted, then all Nigerian voters should be allowed to do what was done in 2015, which is take pictures of those results, send them to places, and we're going to be part of a group that is going to ensure that from across the 120,000 polling units, that results are going to be coming in. We're going to ask our people to go in with their cameras, to go in with their smartphones, to take pictures, and we will collate from every single polling unit what those results are, so that we have an independent way of verifying what actually happened. So while INEC is giving us their results, we will also be giving and collating the results that we receive from our people on the ground. That was part of what happened in 2015.
That is as shown to condone people who are corrupt, to not go after people who are corrupt who are within the government. Now, how do you define corruption? As I said, when you say that the Jonathan government was corrupt, it was the government, not just an individual. There was nothing individual about him that he did. It was the government you represented. He must take responsibility. If you're head of a government, you take responsibility for it. So that perception is wrong because he represents the government. So anything that is done by the government that is corrupt and action is not being taken by who heads that government must take the label that the government is corrupt. There's no way to cover it.
We're going into this campaign, and a lot of Nigerians are expecting issues that will be brought into the table, but the APC did say that, look, PDP cannot talk about some of these issues because they've ruled Nigeria for 16 years, and according to the APC, they believe the PDP has failed. Now, in fact, the chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, said, PDP is simply not an alternative in 2019.
So the people who got unemployed, the people who have lost their job in the last 4 years is because of PDP 16 years. Nigerians are clever on that. Nigerians are not stupid. Your government comes, a party comes into power and says, I will create jobs. Instead of creating jobs, it has lost jobs up to 20 million. You now blame it on a government of 16 years ago? No. You came into government. You said, this is what I promised. I'm going to make your life better. I'm going to change. And you did not deliver. To now blame that on a government that was there before that is no excuse. You should deliver. You should at least, at the worst, even if you cannot create new jobs, so you promise new jobs, at least maintain those who are there. Instead.
But without roads, without electricity, without security, you cannot have an economy. That's the truth. Without jobs, you cannot have an economy. That is why we will focus on the Nigerian economy in such a way that people who have left Nigeria a long time ago will come back to Nigeria again. In fact, everybody will be hurrying to come back home. Because I'm standing in front of you having lived 19 years in America. There's nothing there. You go there after a while, you discover that there's nothing there. There's nowhere like home.
To go to Nigeria, and I got to the airport in Lagos. But while I was waiting for my luggage, I kept seeing plainclothes officers saying, "Sir, can you help us talk to your people outside?"
There are a lot of crowd waiting for you outside, and they have banners bearing Sowore for president. What is your impression about it?
I haven't seen the crowd yet, so until I see them, I can't form an impression as well.
And it soon dawned on me that there's a huge crowd waiting outside. But yes, I knew that friends and enthusiasts wanted to organize an arrival ceremony for me, but I had no idea that it would be thousands of people who walked out of the arrival hall, and I was confronted with this. Nigerians, young people in particular, with placards, and they just practically snatched me.
Sowore was running for president, and I wanted to make sure that was true. Because as soon as I heard that the guy from Saharareporters is going to be president, the only thing that came to my mind was transparency. Somebody that has part of me, likes to expose corruption and evil things that are putting Nigerians down years after years. We vote the same leaders, recycle them. So then I contacted him in New York and I said, is it true? I texted him. Yele was texting me back, it's true. I have a movement, blah, blah, blah. And then I went online and saw all this. I'm like, I definitely want to support this young man. There's almost 80 candidates in this race. And I specifically will support Omoyele Sowore because of his background as an investigative journalism and have given lots of Nigerians insights to what's happening that has made us fall. Yeah, my father's a politician. And I said, my father's a politician, please, he didn't loot, he's never stolen a penny from Nigeria, 51 parastatals in 57 years. Yele said, I'm not sure about that, we have to find out. So I got upset, and from there I was like, I'm not talking to this guy, blah, blah, blah. But Yele Sowore was the first person that spoke to me when they gave me bail in Port Harcourt prison, the very first federal bail for 1 million. Someone was holding a phone in the courtroom and said, Yele Sowore wants to talk to you, and he was from New York. So he cared. And when I did my fundraiser for health and wellness when I came out of prison, he actually put that story on Saharareporters, and I got a lot of donations. Yeah, we didn't make the goal. I told that to Punch, but I got something because the way Sahara posted it and promoted it for me. So I said to him, thank you, Yele. I'm going to be there. Where? Lagos, Ibadan. He said, we're actually coming to Ibadan. And I had to be here. So now we're going to take it back. We're going to take it back. What I want Sowore to do, and I want to ask him that in there, when you become president, Yele, you must also become the Minister of Information. Some people say, Kemi, for any appointment, now you Minister of Information. No, Buhari is the president and is also the Minister of Petroleum. Let Sowore, a journalist, be president and Minister of Information. Our Ministers of Information have failed us. Uncle Lai Mohammed said, they kidnapped 105 girls. Tomorrow he said 111. Boko Haram showing up in your village, throwing pleasantries to people, everybody waving to them. There's a lie in our military, a lie. That's why the military block